we're still in week 30. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by my own phone overheating, according to it. Yeah, my bronze hadn't been back to work since, like, I think Saturday or Sunday was the last day one of them went. And of course it's summer, so they're like, we're trying to get to this money, what's going on? So the older of the two, I actually just talked to him when my phone got overheated or whatever. And I asked if they had reached out to him. He was like, nah, they still ain't saying nothing. And so I told him to call up there, and if they don't answer, then we'll go up there when I get to the house in a little bit. So I don't know what's going on with their jobs, but for mine going, their business, just leave it to me. Oh, we booming, baby. We really booming. Like, it's been, man, the money is coming. The money is coming. People aren't minded paying typically what I'm asking for. Every day that I could, I don't do anything on Wednesdays because my youngest has karate. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like, if it's a money move, hey, he be trying to miss it anyway. He really wants to play soccer. He's used to karate, but and his thing, even yesterday, he was like, can I do like 2 more belts and then go to soccer? I think he thinks for him, his options is one or the other. And it's like, nah, you're gonna still do martial arts because of the discipline that you need and structure and, self-control. I like that for you, but you can still do soccer, Now, I had to work it out, and if it gets to a point where, if it comes to a crossroad or a crux where, especially, this sounds bad to say, but like, let's say soccer's like practice twice a week, and then a game on another, whoa, wait a minute now, because that's cutting into my little extra days where I can be going to get into it. So we might have to, let's open Wednesdays back up then. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, so we go from Wednesday to Tuesday. So, of course, I didn't do anything on Wednesday. But doubled up on Thursday. And one of my old supervisors, his people, needed curtain rods hung up. And again, I'm getting out of there because it's really been not sitting well with me, that whole, well, you can give me what you think or look this up. No, that shit don't work. People gonna take advantage at every turn. So according to Google or whatever, typically people charging going rate for hanging the curtain rods is $50 per window. And I did, technically I think it would have been, no, it was four. Because I did it over the door, over 2 instead of 1. So 2 windows and 2 doors. That's 4. The going rate is $50. 4 times 50, 200. Smooth. So again, great host, bought me food, all that or whatever. And I finish up, and I'm like, as I'm finishing up, hey, I want you to look up how much it costs to hang curtain rods, and then I want you to be able to tell me. Or no, you choose from that what you pay me, because I done gave the whole spiel on, people short me or whatever. And, let's see. I'm in my head. I'm like, the going rate $50 and it's $200 total. At least give me half. Nope, didn't even give me $100. So I'm like, all right, not doing that no more. So that was that. But I also had another job that same day I ran, and it was a bed. It was a bed with 4 dressers that needed to be assembled to go under the bed. And I'm like, all right, cool, get there. And I'm like, I can see, yeah, I undercharged for this a little bit, but we ain't gonna trip about it. Last week was like, of course, not short yourself, but again, hey, rent coming up. I need some money. So let's get all we can, make as much money as we can and keep it pushing, because rent ain't gonna care about, I could have did. Let's get it. So I went, put the bed together, and the lady was I think interior decorator or designer. I think an interior decorator. So like, she goes and help pick furniture for people and whatever. Like, I probably use her services for the decorating and but no, and again, that's something, it's not hard to do. I can hang all this stuff myself, but not prioritizing and juggling too much and not prioritizing putting the finishing touches on my house, which I'll get to that sometime soon, especially like one weekend where I don't have any jobs planned. I start working on that little by little. But so I put that together for her, left her my card, because I'm like, especially her being someone in this industry that helps people and buying and putting stuff together. Oh yeah, we definitely need to link up. So here go my card, you know, don't hesitate to reach out. She was beyond satisfied with the work. So only thing that went wrong with that job was they cut the slats too short. So they had like not sockets, I guess you can call it socket, like a space for you to insert the slat so they stay in place and they stretch to the two furthest ends. But they cut them too short that they couldn't reach both sides. So you can put it in one of the slots on one side, but it's not gonna reach the other. So I showed her that, and you know, showed her that pretty much you could just go and like Home Depot or somewhere like that, and I'm sure you can buy some wood or they probably have slats. So just measure, put it back, or if you want me to do it, we can just set it up. So she was like, yeah, we'll be fine. I'll let you know if we do it that way, or if I just go to Home Depot and have somebody else do it. I'm cool with either one. I didn't got paid for doing what I came to do. So knock that out. Friday, Lord, I just looked. Last Friday, did I have a job? I can't remember what all that I did, and I really hate that. Oh, wait, I ain't gotta remember. I ain't kept fully up with it, but let me pull out my little handy dandy notebook. Let's see what we had for July, because the day the 31st. So, and it's Thursday. So last Thursday was the 24th. So 25th, yep, Independence Day was the 26th. So, yep, those two jobs, 24th. Oh yeah, my cousin. For my cousin, the 25th, I put together a vanity for her daughter. And I think it took like 3 hours or so, about three or 4 hours. A lot of pieces, a lot of parts, dressers, drawers. It was a lot. But again, you know, I don't got no problem. I throw on something and be in my own world and just going. So I went and I knocked that out on Friday. She was beyond satisfied with it. And I was, of course, this is my people. So I'm like telling her the whole da-da-da, whatever, you know, situation with that 22-hour job. And I was like, all right, again, my going rate, I think I feel comfortable saying between $50 and $60 now. I'm going up to $60. So my going rate is between $50 and $60 an hour. So on the low side, like I said, that took about 4 hours. That would be $200. High side, $60, another $40, $240. So I'm like, whatever you throw me, that's it. She, no, tell me. And I'm like, so I leave. And she throw me more than the $240. And I'm like, whoa, no, hey, cuz. I was like, that's not what. Did you want me to see some of this back? Like, I ain't trying to put you in no bond or nothing like that. She was like, no, you know, I feel like the job was worth it. Like, you don't feel like it? I'm like, no, it definitely was worth it, but I don't even feel comfortable taking that from you. Not, you know, not because you feel me, because that's not my rate. So I was like, all right, boom. I sent her something back, and I was like, this is a fair cost. This is, you know, my rate. And she was like, all right. But I was fine with it. I just didn't want to short you. So that was, you know, cool to have somebody to take into consideration, like, or whatever. So did that for my cousin on Friday. Saturday, I can't remember doing a job on Saturday. I may have and just don't remember. But like I said, I can't remember. So Saturday, I'm gonna say I didn't do anything. And wait, before I say that, let me double check. Now I'm gonna hit that notebook on my business phone. That'll tell it. Oh, I need to get over. There's a lot going on right here, and I'm juggling two phones. Kevin Gates. So that was Friday for my cousin. I'm not seeing that on Saturday. But that's this week. I'm looking at last week. Oh, why do you say? No, that was last week. Friday. Yeah, so as far, I don't think I did anything Saturday. I didn't do anything on Saturday. I knew I wasn't doing anything on Sunday because I was picking up my oldest sister in a little bit. So I knew Sunday we wasn't doing nothing. So Monday comes, of course, Monday I go to work. Cool, get to work, knock it out, boom, boom. Not there long because, like I said, we just got the laptop. But again, I couldn't do any work besides reading and studying, so I didn't stay at the office long. Came home, and my budget had just started, so the jobs was coming in, people reaching out, boom. All right, boom, boom, boom. I think I had like 5 views and 5 leads. Like everybody who looked at me reached out. All right, now don't let the consistency mess around and get there like that. Because we had 10 for 10. I mess around, you know what I'm saying? So that was really cool to see or whatever. Did I get all of them? No. Some of them didn't want to pay what I wanted. Others, it just wouldn't work out as far as scheduling goes. Like, they wanted it done by a certain day and time. And it's like, again, this my bag, but my guarantee, my 9 to 5 is still my go-to for now. It's still my go-to until I'm gonna use it for what it's for. Build my money where I want it to be, get the consistency I need, whatever, my savings, and then we'll take that leap of faith and we all in. So, when I got off Monday, it was actually someone who would technically be a co-worker. They work for the same company I do. They just needed a bed disassembled and taken to their storage. So, boom, I knock it out or whatever, and they needed to ride with me to their storage, of course. So we ride over to the storage, and we're just, rapping a little bit. And they were like asking, do I do TVs? I'm like, yup. And they're like, all right, I'm thinking I'm putting my TVs up. Hit me up. I'm willing to do that too. They're gonna need me to put the beds back together. So I'm waiting to hear back because I think they said they move in. He moves in tomorrow. And I was like, all right, I let him know. I know Friday, I work, because I got to go to the office. But I was like, hey, in the evening, if you want to knock it out in the evening, that's cool. Saturday, I got to drop off my oldest and his sister, and I have my balloon gig, but I don't have nothing planned for the evening. So I was like, I can knock it out in the evening if you want to do it Saturday. Sunday, I don't have nothing special going on. Oh no, Sunday is probably gonna be out there. That's a pool table that I got scheduled. So I was like, Sunday probably not, but again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday in the evening after work, I can knock it out. So you just let me know. So knock that out or whatever. On Monday, he was satisfied, cool. And then Tuesday, what did we do Tuesday? I did it. Oh my God, Tuesday, right? So it was a dresser, 5-drawer dresser. Those aren't hard, typically. Pretty simple. So we wrap, boom, boom, work out a price. That's cool. All right. I'm like, all right. Again, I'm learning that now. I just come to expect if a person is like, oh, I knocked out something. Nope. What like I say, versus when I started, I'm like, if a person, whether the person who the customer had it or they had another pro do it, I used to look forward to it like, oh man, that's gonna cut out some of the time. So I'm finna be I haven't experienced once where a customer or another pro starting a job they didn't finish, didn't make it harder and make it take longer than it should have for me if I would have just did it 100% by myself. So I get there, I'm looking at it, and the I call them cam bolts. The cam bolts actually have the cam bolts have a little like plastic rubber covering on them at the bottom, and I'm like, never seen that before. But that's what made them call. They were having issues trying to get it fully flush, putting those in, and then I get there and I'm having issues with it. But I'm trying, before I even start, I'm trying to undo what they did and then put them in right, and it's not working. This ain't smooth sailing at all. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm messing with that. It takes, I think this might be, I'm not gonna say that because dresses sometimes take me like 4 hours. But I didn't think this one was. It did. And I'm like, boy, this sucked. I did not plan on this taking this long. And I showed them like, yeah, I got it there as best I could, but y'all, they only put so many of these in here. And the plastic, like once it broke, you couldn't just put the cam bolt in there by itself. You had to have the rubber because it was an oversized hole. I don't have any of these, so there was nothing I could do, I can get this one here, and where I could go without putting one, I did. So I'm like, functionally it's fine. I got the drawers working. You can use it, but aesthetically it ain't nothing pretty. It ain't 100 that way or whatever. So they were satisfied. He ain't tripped. They gave me a tip and everything. But that is one of the few jobs I've done where I left and it was like, yeah, no, I'm not satisfied with this. I didn't even feel comfortable asking them, hey, can you leave me a review? Again, they saw their self did, but because I'm a pro at this and this is what I do, I think they're, I'm like, I can't be mad if their expectations are higher. So, like I say, I'm cool with it. Honestly, at that point, I was like, man, I'm cool. I felt so bad. Like, because I could see gaps, spaces. But again, functionally, you can put your clothes or whatever you're putting in here. That is going to be fine. And the frame was okay. Like, I'm able to turn it, pick it up, flip it over. All that is okay. But if it was flush and just right, I would have felt better about it. I'm not worried about it falling apart. So I knocked that out. Cool. Like I said, that was Tuesday. And yeah, that was it as far as jobs up until this point. Like I said, today is Thursday, so I can't speak what I did today. But that was the business, man, and the jobs. And so, like I said, got those knocked out. And, you know, so that was a very productive week. And next week we should be full force with working with the full-time job. And I hope next week is you know, I don't think prosperous is the right term. It's fruitful. I'll say it's fruitful as this week was. Cause yeah, we made a little bag this week, you know, during the week. Let me count up and see how much I made. Hold up. So take that 10 down. This. Yeah, like, man, in 3 days we made little somewhere around about half of what, you know, you make in 5 days at work. So that's, you know, really dope. It's really been a dope week, man. So again, just want to keep going, keep that, you know, riding that and this wave and positivity, and just keep going, man. I hope it's a productive week next week as it is, and if we can keep this consistency right here going. And like I say, I got a balloon gig this week, so, you know, a little bit of change extra or whatever. And I'm not gonna say worried. I think that pool table said it can weigh up to 750 pounds. Now, they already told me that it's in the room that it's supposed to be in, so I don't have to transport it or move it or whatever. But I think that's typically a 2-man job. So I'm going to reach out to them actually today and say, hey, can you send me, open the box and let me see the instructions. Let me see the tools that it says. I got a mallet and all that, but I just want to make, you know, be able to look it over. And if that can help me with that, that'll help me a lot. At least see how many steps it is. That'll help. And then see how much hardware it has. So I'm going to reach out to them. But, yep, that's it, man. That's week 30, Stephen Curry. And we working. And we'll have a little bit of change next week. And hopefully an even bigger and better week as far as the business goes. So, be kind to yourself, my boy. Stay focused. Work your butt out this week. Work out and get the house together. That's what we're doing this weekend. Well, no, I'm lying, because this weekend going to be busy. That's what we're doing. Whatever days, if Monday, Tuesday, whatever days where we don't have something to do, and even that, I am committing to 30 minutes to an hour per day, like my lunch break, because I can eat while I'm working. So my lunch break, I'll probably go work. I ain't gonna lie, I'll probably work for that hour. But 30 minutes to an hour each day during the day or at the start of the day. Let's say I clock in at like 8:30. If I wake up at 7:30, let's go ahead and work on cleaning or organizing or something with the house. So that's it, my boy. Be kind to yourself. I love you. And remember that everything we're working on achieving is going to be achieved overnight, plural with an S, not overnight. I'll holler at you next week, my boy.